Hello and welcome to a new episode of SwiftUI Elements. This time we will talk about stacks. In the previous videos we talked about colors, shapes and text, and today with the stacks we try to lay out these things on the screen. So let's start. So in SwiftUI we have three types of stacks. We have VStacks, vertical stacks, we have HStacks, horizontal stacks, and ZStacks to lay out things in different layers in front of each other. So let's jump right into the code and try it out. So here is the normal starting point with the text element. The preview is already running. And now we can wrap this text into stacks. So I can command click on the text element, and then in the pop-up you see you can embed in HStacks, VStack and ZStacks. So let's start with an HStack. So I just click it and then you see the text element gets wrapped into the text. So the preview, nothing happened right now because we have only one element in there, but when I now add another text element, so let's say we just do 1, 2, 3, you see in the preview it's placed next to each other horizontally. So let's give the HStack a background color so we can see how big the stack itself is. So let's do an orange color here. So, and as you can see, the stack gets only the size of its content. So the stacks itself don't have any sizes. It's with the content. So if I, for example, add another element here, and that's an element we haven't spoken about yet. So it's a spacer. Spacer are used to space UI elements from each other. So when I add here the spacer, you can see the view or the two text elements gets pushed to the corners, one left and one right, and the spacer is in between. Spacers normally take all the space they get, so the remaining space. So when I comment it out, you see it's only the content size, and now on the left side the white space and on the right side the white space, that's the size the spacer gets. Yeah, and there with that you can push stuff out. So let's remove the spacer again. And now let's go to the next stack we have. So again, command click on the HStack, and now we put this one in a VStack. So the elements directly in the VStack get positioned vertically. So when I add here another element, so let's say text 456, you see it's below the other HStack. So let's give this one also a color. So let's do it, let's say blue. And also the VStack is the same thing. It places, or the text element gets the size of its content. So the content is 456. That's why you only see a small blue bar here. And the last element we have with the stacks is the ZStack. So let's embed the VStack also into a ZStack. And as I said before, it's used to layer UIs in front of each other. So the first view element I add here gets in the first layer, the second in the second layer, and so on. So when I add a color here, for example red, you see the whole background gets red, and in front of this is the VStack with the two text elements with the orange color here. It's a little bit hard to see, and the blue element, the blue text element here. So these are the basic stacks we have to lay out things. So the stacks can also have different parameters. So let's check in the VStack. So it's the most simplest one you can see in the preview. So there you have alignment property. So you could say that's a horizontal alignment. We have center, leading, and trailing. So when I change it to leading, you see the second text part with 4, 5, 6 is now at the leading position. When I change it to trailing, you'll see in the preview it gets to the trailing position. The same thing works for HStacks. For HStacks, you can control the horizontal alignment. And the ZStack, let's check which alignment we can do here. Alignment. So now it's correct. And here we can say, okay, we wanted to put it on the bottom leading, bottom trailing, center. So you can see we have way more possibilities here because we have different layers. And now we can say the next element we want to position in center, bottom, top, and so on. So when I say I want bottom leading, then it gets positioned at the lower left corner. When I say top trailing, then it's the upper right corner. And so you can position elements over each other in different positions of the screen. And that's all I have to say about stacks. So that's it for today. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.